The massive alien mothership emerged from hyperspace, casting an enormous shadow over Earth's orbital defense perimeter. Captain J. Juan Park watched through reinforced glass as the metallic behemoth slowly rotated, its surface gleaming with technological complexity that seemed impossible to human eyes. Radio communications crackled with static, then cleared. A mechanical voice translated the alien transmission. Human civilization. Your technological progress is irrelevant. Surrender is mandatory. Nearby, Commander Yoon-Ki Kim studied the tactical displays, his fingers moving quickly across holographic interfaces. Hundreds of smaller alien vessels began spreading out, forming precise geometric formations around Earth's orbital zones. Inside military command centers across continents, screens flickered with incoming data. Satellite networks tracked the alien fleet's movements, recording every minute detail of their unprecedented invasion approach. Military leaders who moments ago were discussing budget allocations now stood frozen, watching humanity's first true extraterrestrial encounter unfold. The alien vessel was unlike anything human engineering had ever conceived. Its hull seemed to shimmer and shift, materials transforming seamlessly between solid and liquid states. Weapon signatures detected by Earth's sensors suggested technology centuries beyond current human capabilities. Captain Park noticed something unusual. The alien formation wasn't just a military deployment, it was almost mathematical. Each vessel positioned with calculated precision that suggested more than simple invasion strategy. Something deeper was happening. "They're scanning us," Yoon-Ki muttered, watching energy signatures pulse across monitoring systems. "Not just our defenses, our entire planetary infrastructure." Massive energy collectors began extending from the alien mothership, creating intricate web-like structures that seemed to absorb electromagnetic radiation from surrounding space. Earth's communication networks started experiencing unexpected interference. Military installations worldwide went into maximum alert. Missile silos activated, fighter squadrons scrambled. Naval vessels transformed from peaceful maritime operations to potential combat readiness within minutes. The alien transmission repeated, "Surrender is mandatory. Resistance will result in complete technological and biological elimination." But humans had something the aliens didn't understand: unpredictability. Where advanced civilizations relied on calculated risks and precise mathematical models, humans operated on intuition, creativity, and an almost irrational determination to survive. Captain Park watched as the first wave of alien scout ships began, descending through Earth's atmosphere. Their design was beautiful yet terrifying: smooth metallic surfaces that seemed to flow like liquid, propulsion systems that defied known physics. Military radar tracked hundreds of entry points. Major cities braced for potential first contact. Governments that moments ago were arguing about economic policies now prepared for potential species-level conflict. The alien ships moved with incredible synchronization, each vessel moving like a perfectly programmed machine. No wasted energy, no unnecessary movements. Pure technological efficiency. But efficiency wasn't everything. As the first alien vessels entered lower atmospheric zones, something unexpected happened. Human technological systems, which seemed primitive compared to the alien architecture, began responding in ways the invaders couldn't predict. Communication networks that should have been overwhelmed started routing signals through unexpected pathways. Satellite systems designed for weather monitoring suddenly became complex defensive nodes. Commercial infrastructure transformed into potential resistance mechanisms. The alien fleet, for the first time, showed a subtle indication of confusion. Humanity wasn't just going to roll over, they were going to fight. Captain J. Juan Park smiled slightly, watching the tactical displays. The aliens might have superior technology, but humans had something far more dangerous: imagination, adaptability, and an absolutely ruthless survival instinct. First contact had begun, and nothing would ever be the same again. Dr. Hee Soo Choi worked beneath the mountain. Underground research facilities hummed with quiet intensity, filled with captured alien technology spread across massive workstations, Fragments of metallic components glowed with strange energy, pulsing with colors no human had ever seen before. Her hands moved quickly, connecting microscopic circuits harvested from destroyed alien scout ships. Around her, specialized teams of engineers and scientists worked in total silence, understanding the critical nature of their mission. Outside, cities burned. Alien attacks had devastated major urban centers, turning skyscrapers into smoking ruins. But inside this hidden facility, something remarkable was happening. "We can use their own technology against them," Sungmin Park muttered, analyzing complex data streams on multiple holographic displays. Alien weapon signatures, energy transfer protocols, and communication frequencies danced across screens. The first alien invasion wave had assumed human technological infrastructure would collapse. Immediately, they were wrong. Within hours of the initial attack, human teams had begun dissecting captured alien equipment. Where other civilizations might have panicked, humans did something unexpected. They started learning, adapting, reverse engineering. Dr. No. Choi discovered something peculiar about the alien plasma weapons. Their energy transfer mechanism contained a fundamental weakness, a tiny structural gap that could be exploited. Most advanced civilizations would have overlooked such a minor detail. Humans saw it as an opportunity. Military research teams worked in shifts. Engineers who previously designed commercial electronics now found themselves creating weapons that could potentially challenge an advanced alien civilization. Computer programmers wrote complex algorithms designed to infiltrate alien communication networks. Satellite communication systems, initially thought to be vulnerable, started becoming sophisticated defensive networks. Commercial data centers transformed into neural-like communication hubs. Every technological resource became a potential weapon. The aliens had expected a quick, clean conquest. They discovered something entirely different. Sungmin identified a critical vulnerability in the alien fleet's communication protocol. Their technological efficiency, which seemed like a strength, was actually a significant weakness. They communicated through highly structured, predictable channels. Humans were anything but predictable. Military strategists began developing unconventional warfare techniques. Instead of direct confrontation, they planned complex, multi-layered response strategies that would confuse and disrupt alien command structures. Dr. Choi's team successfully modified a captured alien energy weapon. Where the original device could destroy entire city blocks, their modified version could potentially disable entire alien spacecraft communication systems. "They think we're primitive," Sungmin said, a rare smile crossing his face. "They have no idea what humans can do when threatened." Research facilities across different continents began sharing information through encrypted channels. What started as isolated efforts became a global, coordinated response. Universities, military installations, private research centers all worked together with a single purpose. The aliens had made a fundamental mistake. They had studied human technological capabilities but completely misunderstood human potential. Technological adaptation happened at an unprecedented rate. Components designed for one purpose were quickly repurposed. Alien communication frequencies were analyzed, understood, and then manipulated. Every piece of captured technology became a learning opportunity. Military training programs rapidly evolved. Soldiers were no longer just learning traditional combat techniques. They were being trained to understand and potentially operate alien technological systems. Dr. Choi looked at the modified plasma weapon. It was no longer just a piece of alien technology. It was now a human weapon, redesigned, improved, made more efficient. The resistance had begun, and humanity was just getting started. Sungmin looked up from his data streams, catching Dr. Choi's eye. No words were necessary. They both understood what was happening. Humanity wasn't just going to survive. They were going to fight back. Lieutenant Yoonji Kwan's modified spacecraft moved like liquid mercury through the dark expanse of space. Her team represented humanity's most advanced response to the alien invasion, a perfect blend of human creativity and stolen alien technology. The spacecraft's hull rippled with adaptive camouflage, a technology developed in secret underground laboratories. Where alien ships followed rigid design principles, this human vessel seemed to breathe, changing shape and energy signatures every few seconds. "Target acquired," her co-pilot whispered, fingers dancing across quantum hybrid control interfaces. Alien. Communication relays hung before them. Massive structures that looked like intricate metal spiderwebs stretching across star systems. These were supposed to be impenetrable. The aliens believed their technological superiority made them untouchable. They were wrong. Yunji had spent months studying captured alien communication protocols. What seemed like incomprehensible technological complexity to others looked like a puzzle waiting to be solved to her. Human beings had a unique ability to see patterns where others saw chaos. The first strike was surgical. Small electromagnetic pulse generators, developed by Dr. Choi's research team, targeted specific frequency bands. Alien communication networks started experiencing unexplained interruptions. Massive alien defense platforms began losing coordination. Their perfectly synchronized attack formations started showing microscopic gaps, tiny moments of vulnerability that human tactical teams were trained to exploit. Military strategists had realized something fundamental. The aliens' greatest strength was also their greatest weakness. Their technological efficiency meant they struggled with unexpected illogical responses. Humans were nothing if not unpredictable. Across different star sectors, similar teams executed precisely coordinated attacks, where traditional military doctrine suggested massive confrontations. These human teams used surgical intelligent interventions. One team would disable a communication relay. Another would simultaneously disrupt energy transfer systems. A third would introduce complex algorithmic infections into alien navigation computers. The aliens watched in growing confusion as their supposedly impenetrable technological networks started experiencing unexplained failures. Yunji's spacecraft moved between alien defensive platforms like a ghost. Traditional radar systems couldn't track it. Energy signatures constantly shifted. To alien sensors, it sometimes appeared as space debris, other times as a minor electromagnetic disturbance. Communications disruption at 67% effectiveness, her co-pilot reported. The human response wasn't just about fighting. It was about understanding, adapting, and then transforming the very technological landscape of conflict. Alien commanders began experiencing something they had never encountered before: genuine uncertainty. Their mathematical models, which had predicted complete human surrender within hours of invasion, now showed increasing statistical anomalies. Humanity was rewriting the rules of technological warfare. Research facilities on Earth continued their relentless work. Every captured alien component became a learning opportunity. Engineers who previously designed smartphones now created weapons that could potentially disable entire alien fleet sections. The modification wasn't just technological. Military training evolved rapidly. Soldiers were no longer just learning to shoot and survive. They were learning to think like the aliens, to understand their technological ecosystems, and then systematically dismantle them. Yunji's team represented this new approach. They weren't just soldiers. They were technological interpreters, capable of understanding and then subverting alien systems. As their spacecraft completed its mission, communication networks across alien fleet sections started experiencing cascading failures. What seemed like isolated technical glitches were actually carefully orchestrated interventions. The aliens had believed technology was about perfect efficiency. Humans showed them it was about creative adaptation. The technological war had entered a new phase, and humanity was just getting started. The alien Queen's flagship trembled. Massive internal systems started experiencing unexplained failures. Technological networks that had worked perfectly for centuries now showed impossible glitches. Her advisors panicked. Holographic displays flickered with red warning signals. Something was fundamentally wrong with their invasion strategy. Humans had done the impossible. Deep within the massive alien vessel, specialized human strike teams moved like shadows. They weren't traditional soldiers. They were technological ghosts. Engineers, computer specialists, and tactical experts who understood that modern warfare was more about information than firepower. Captain Jae-hwan Park's voice echoed through their communication systems. Target is approaching critical infrastructure sections. The human teams had spent months studying alien technological ecosystems. Where traditional military approaches would have suggested massive confrontations, they chose surgical interventions. Each movement was calculated, each action designed to create maximum disruption with minimum direct conflict. Alien security systems, designed to detect massive physical threats, completely missed these human infiltration teams. They moved through complex technological networks like digital phantoms, introducing microscopic disruption algorithms that spread faster than any defensive mechanism could track. The alien queen watched her command systems slowly dissolve. Technological networks that had governed her civilization for generations started showing impossible behavioral patterns. Communication channels collapsed. Defensive systems became unreliable. Her civilization had believed technology was about perfect mathematical prediction. Humans showed them it was about creative adaptation. Strike Team Leader Min Jun Kim moved through alien infrastructure sections with calculated precision. Every step was a potential technological intervention. Quantum encryption devices attached to critical system nodes, introducing complex algorithmic infections that would spread like technological viruses. Primary communication networks compromised. His team's technical specialist reported, the aliens had studied human technological capabilities for decades. They had analyzed human communication systems, military strategies, and technological infrastructure. They believed they understood everything about human potential. They were wrong. Humanity's response wasn't just about direct confrontation. It was about understanding, adapting, and then systematically dismantling technological ecosystems from within. Alien defensive systems started experiencing cascading failures. What seemed like isolated technical glitches were actually carefully orchestrated interventions. Each disruption was designed to create maximum confusion with minimum direct conflict. The Queen's advisor suggested traditional military responses, launch counterattacks, increase defensive energy fields, activate emergency protocol systems. But those systems were already compromised. Human strike teams understood something fundamental. Modern warfare wasn't about destroying physical infrastructure. It was about creating systemic confusion, breaking down communication networks and making technological systems fundamentally unreliable. Captain Jae-hwan's voice came through again. Final stage of intervention beginning. Massive alien technological networks started collapsing. Communication channels dissolved. Defensive systems became unpredictable. What had seemed like an impossible invasion now looked like a potential defeat. The alien queen realized something terrifying. Humans were not just resisting. They were systematically dismantling her civilization's technological superiority. Impossible, she whispered, watching her command system slowly dissolve. But it was happening. Humanity had done more than fight. They had fundamentally rewritten the rules of technological conflict. Where other civilizations saw technology as a fixed, predictable system, humans saw it as a living, adaptable ecosystem. The breaking point had arrived, and nothing would ever be the same again. The stars became a battlefield. Massive human spacecraft, modified with stolen alien technology, moved with unexpected grace. Where alien ships followed rigid mathematical patterns, human vessels danced between defensive formations. Captain Jae-hwan Park watched the tactical displays. Hundreds of alien ships suddenly became vulnerable. Their communication networks collapsed. Defensive systems confused. Technological superiority neutralized. Fire, he commanded. Specialized energy weapons, developed in secret underground laboratories, erupted from human spacecraft. These weren't traditional missiles or energy beams. They were complex technological weapons that could simultaneously attack physical and digital systems. The alien fleet began disintegrating. Each human spacecraft carried something unique, a combination of human creativity and stolen alien technology. Quantum communication systems allowed instantaneous coordination. Adaptive energy shields transformed faster than alien targeting systems could track. Dr. Hee-Soo Choi's weapon designs turned every human ship into a potential technological nightmare for the alien civilization. Weapons that could disable entire communication networks, disrupt energy transfer systems, and create cascading technological failures. The alien queen's final transmission crackled through communication channels. Mercy. Jaehwan's response was instantaneous. Denied. Across multiple star sectors, human strike teams executed perfectly synchronized attacks. One team would disable a communication relay. Another would introduce complex algorithmic infections into alien navigation computers. A third would disrupt energy transfer systems. The aliens had believed their technological superiority made them invincible. They discovered something terrifying. Humans saw technology as a living, adaptable system. Massive alien defense platforms started experiencing impossible failures. Communication networks collapsed. Defensive systems became unpredictable. What had seemed like an impossible human resistance now looked like a systematic technological dismantling. Lieutenant Yoonji Kwan's modified spacecraft moved like a phantom between alien defensive formations. Adaptive camouflage made her vessel almost invisible. Energy signatures constantly shifted. To alien sensors, it sometimes appeared as space debris, other times as a minor electromagnetic disturbance. Human military training had evolved rapidly. Soldiers were no longer just learning to shoot and survive. They were learning to think like the aliens, to understand their technological ecosystems and then systematically dismantle them. The battlefield transformed. It wasn't just about physical destruction. It was about creating systemic confusion, breaking down communication networks, and making technological systems fundamentally unreliable. Alien commanders watched in growing horror as their perfectly designed invasion strategy dissolved. Mathematical models that had predicted complete human surrender now showed impossible statistical anomalies. Humanity wasn't just fighting back. They were rewriting the rules of technological conflict. Specialized. Human strike teams moved through alien infrastructure like digital ghosts. Each movement was calculated. Each action designed to create maximum disruption with minimum direct conflict. The stars became a canvas of technological destruction. Alien ships exploded. Communication networks collapsed. Defensive systems became unreliable. The Queen's flagship, once a symbol of technological superiority, now looked like a dying machine. Complex systems failed. Technological networks dissolved. What had seemed invincible became vulnerable. Across human communication channels, a message spread. We are not your prey. The final assault was surgical, precise, devastating. Alien technological ecosystems that had existed for generations suddenly became obsolete. Humanity had done more than resist. They had fundamentally transformed the concept of technological warfare. As the last alien ships disintegrated, something became clear. This was more than a battle. It was a statement. Humanity would not be conquered. The stars went silent. The invasion was over.